Okay, here we are in Central Lending Library today, and we've got with us esteemed and famous author Joanne Harris, and we've got Jenny Collier, who's here at the library on work experience and also reporting for Leicester Wave. And Jenny's got a few questions for Joanne.
Okay. Did you start writing as a means of escape from teaching?
No, I started writing as a means of escape from life. I think I was about 6 at the time. I enjoyed teaching and I would have stayed a teacher for as long as it took, but, writing was just a sideline.
Right. Has your experience as a teacher informed your writing?
Yeah, I think inevitably, if you work in a community like a school for long enough, you will pick up stories. And I always said I wasn't going to write about teaching, but of course I ended up doing it anyway. So yes, I think, I've picked up a lot of things from teaching, and I have used occasionally bits and pieces from that world and members of staff that I've known and kids that I've taught, and I've managed to put those into stories, hopefully not too obviously so that they know.
Right. How important do you think social media is a way of engaging with an audience?
It depends very much on the audience. In some cases they wouldn't even know what social media meant. In others, people do spend their life networking in that way, and it's a useful thing to do. I think it's an interesting tool. I wouldn't be entirely reliant upon it, but it is a useful thing to have at your command.
With the development of the internet, social media and e-books, do you think young people will still need libraries in the future?
I do hope so. I think libraries have expanded anyway, and libraries are now so much more than just book depositories. But I think, that the fact that libraries are now becoming social spaces, and spaces in which you can actually access social media, and I think they're becoming more important in that way, and their role is changing.
Right. How has your experience of online communities informed the writing of Blue-Eyed Boy? Sorry.
Well, I wouldn't have written about it if I hadn't known about that kind of world. What I wanted to do was to write about small communities wherever I found them, and it seems to me that there are so many of them online and they're so interesting, and some of them are so intense that it would have been a pity to leave that out.
I know you play in a band. Which musicians have influenced you the most?
Oh, all kinds of musicians. I mean, because there are 3 of us in this band, we're all fighting for purchase. And so I think, I listen to an awful lot of music. There are playlists there in Blue-Eyed Boy, and his tastes and mine pretty much coincide.
Okay. And what are you listening to at the moment?
What I'm listening to at the moment, I'm actually listening to Jarvis Cocker's last album, which I really like, which is on my pod and which I've just downloaded.
Okay, thank you very much.